to concentrate the minds of the 28 governments who make up the Council and who have to agree to and obtain national ratification for any treaty changes. It would, I think, be reasonable to suppose that such developments would make them more supportive of reform that does not require treaty change, more conscious of the difficulties of ratifying treaty change, and more interested in ensuring that their national parliaments play a larger role in shaping European legislation in the future. Now, how will this all affect the debate within the European Union on whether to pursue what I would describe as a policy-based reform agenda or an institution-based one, or indeed over whether or not a reform is needed at all? Well, that last option, is reform needed at all, can perhaps be rapidly dismissed. Not only can no organisation like the European Union afford simply to stand still, least of all in the face of the many challenges it's up against, but the survival of the Eurozone is really incompatible with such a status quo policy. As to the main choice between an institutional approach or a policy-based approach, there is certainly a huge policy-based agenda out there waiting for decisive action. Completing the single market, particularly in services and energy, building a digital level playing field, pushing ahead with enlargement in the Balkans and beyond, promoting freer and fairer world trade, both through bilateral agreements such as those being negotiated with the US, Canada, Japan and India, and through a revival of the World Trade Organization, finding more effective responses to the challenge of climate change, making the common foreign and security policy work better, and here the gauntlet thrown down by Russia over the Crimea and the future of Ukraine represents a major challenge. All those, and finding ways of cooperating on defence in an era of austerity budgets, and one where the US is expecting Europe to take more of the burden in its own neighbourhood. All those are, as you can see, a huge but perfectly coherent and, I would argue, perfectly doable agenda, if the political will is there to do it. Now, much of that agenda is essential if Europe is to remain competitive and flexible